Your business needs you to go to therapy. Now, I know that this is not the most popular opinion out there, and I know you're probably like, "Is this why I came to this girl's YouTube channel?" and I completely understand it, but I need you to know something that as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, as a business coach, I work with so many people, including myself. And one of the number one things that I feel like holds business owners and entrepreneurs back is themselves. And today we're going to have a conversation about it. So welcome back to the channel. I'm so glad you're here, and I'm so glad you're actually still watching this video, because you could have easily just scrolled past this one, or you could have said, nope, I'm not getting into it once you saw the intro. But I am really glad that you have chosen to continue on watching this particular video. So when I thought about this, I said to myself, like, what is a way that I am able to serve my audience that I have served myself? And that thing is therapy. Now, I know that a lot of times we have this preconceived notion or thought process around therapy that it's for people that are crazy, they've got something wrong, something has happened in their childhood, something traumatic has happened recently or whatever. But I have come to learn over the years, after being in therapy for years, that therapy is so good for you, for your soul, for your environment, for the people you're connected with, and then as a business owner, for your business. Now, let me explain that a little bit. So I'm a business coach. Obviously, I teach business owners how to make money online. And when it's time for me to show up in the business, it is me that shows up in the business. When it's time to make decisions, I have to make decisions. When I have to interview people, or when I have to challenge people, when I have to correct someone, when I have to do hire, fire, or whatever, I am the one that is showing up, right? When it is time to choose prices of my products, sell my products, whatever it is, deal with customer service issues, it is me whom shows up in those situations. And what I learned going to therapy is that we are the way we are based upon whatever has happened with us, to us in the past, right? This is all that we know about us. We're like, this is me. This is who I am. This is how I think. This is how I do things. This is how I process. This is why I say what I say, whatever. But it's not until we let a professional actually dive into us, dive into our present, dive into what we do currently, positive and not so positive, strengths, weaknesses. They dive into our childhoods, anything that's been traumatic that has happened, or anything that we don't even realize is traumatic that happened in our lives. The counselor slash therapist, psychologist, whatever, dives into those things. And one of the things that I've learned is that they begin to look for patterns, right? For example, I grew up in poverty. I know the phrase like the back of my hand, money doesn't grow on trees, right? I got used to eating whatever was available, no matter how much money I had, right? If I had a little bit of money, had a lot of money, my mind would always go back to eating this type of way or whatever. And not to mention, I grew up like not always having food to eat. So when I did have food, like I would have to like hold on or whatever it was, right? And so when I started to build my business, I was making financial decisions from an unhealed place, right? When I looked at the price I should charge for my products, I had a value issue of how much I valued myself or didn't value myself, or how self-conscious I felt about trying to sell myself to other people. And so I would devalue or whatever it was because of the lack of confidence I had in myself and about money issues, right? Not to mention, when I started making a lot of money, I would spend and spend and spend it. And in my mind, it was like, as long as I don't get into the negative, as long as I'm not writing bad checks, because that's a learned behavior from my mom, then as long as I'm not doing that, I am okay. When I didn't actually realize that that's actually not wise, that it is actually healthy and wise to budget, to not just go and buy because there's money in the bank, right? And so then when it came time to like have a conversation with somebody on my staff and just like say things that need to be said to them in a way, like just, correct them or whatever, I had this thing where it was like, I'm the boss. I'm going to say what needs to be said. I don't have to sugarcoat it or whatever. You know what I mean? And that was like, yeah, that's just it. But, the more that I went to therapy, I realized that there's actually a healthy way to tell people something hard that they need to hear. There's actually a healthy way to, tell people that, hey, your services are no longer needed without like being rude, being mean, being nasty, without making people want to slip my tires or whatever. But it wasn't until I started going to therapy that I started to grow and started to mature, right? Like I have like just been on this journey of like realizing that if my business is going to grow, if I'm going to not only make more money in my business, if I'm going to be able to lead a team of people, that they can eventually lead a team of people and we're able to continue to flourish and do what we do and serve my clients and build an awesome community, then I am at the core of it, right? And so when you think about your business and what it is you're trying to do, you are at the heart of it. You are at the heart when you think about pricing your products, when you think about, the emails that you write, when you think about what you do with customer service, you are at the core of all of it, okay? And if you do not start working on yourself, growing and healing and maturing, then what you're going to find is that the unhealed version of you is going to ruin parts, right? I have stuff for days where I can say, oh my God, I wish I would have done that so much better, but I did not because I didn't know any better. I didn't know how to be different, if there was a different option or a way of doing things or way of being, you know what I mean? But I'm like, all I can do today is focus on today. I cannot focus on what I didn't do right in the past. Like if I encounter that person, I can apologize or whatever, but it's like, I can't change the past. I can only do what I can do today. And that is grow, heal, and mature. So if you are saying to yourself that you want to build a sustainable, profitable business, you want to make hundreds of thousands, you want to make, 6 figures, 7 figures, 8, whatever it is, you have to keep growing and maturing. And the person that can help you, that is unbiased, is a counselor, therapist, psychologist, because you're paying them to tell you the truth. You're paying them to help give you tools to be able to grow, heal, and mature. Like when I did it for divorce, it was kind of like, she was able to focus on me. I was like, let's not focus on him. He's not here, but let's talk about me. What made me choose a person like him? What was going on with me? And that was very painful to be able to see all that. It was very painful to see my money issues. Very painful to see how some people quit my company because of me, right? And it was just extremely painful, but all I could do was get better and be intentional about trying to get better, okay? So listen, if you got any questions about this, I want you to ask me here below. Now remember, we have videos that come out every single week. Monday is always marketing, business. Wednesday is marketing a business. And then on Fridays, it's going to be more like lifestyle, me encouraging and motivating and things of that nature. Okay, so if you haven't already, be sure to like this video and subscribe, and then ask me any questions you have in the comments.